I don't think this is helping me feel better. It might make me look better, but it does not make me feel better. Welcome back, weirdos. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about love. And not like Valentine's Day, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of love, but like God is love. Love? First things first, I'm really sorry about my like croaky voice. I know I sound all nasally, and actually I kind of feel like this is what I would sound like if somebody ever made a Muppets version of me. Like, hi, I'm Shaz, Miss Piggy, Kermit the Frog. Let's all sing. But yeah, basically, I'm still under le weather. And the weather is gross. So please forgive me for bringing all of this grossness to you. But I really just want to keep being more real, so you get a whole bunch of sick realness coming at you today. So if you're here, thank you. And lastly, please hit that subscribe button and we can begin talking about love. I've got to stop doing this. Basically, last year, before Valentine's Day, I did a little celebratory Galentine's Day where I had a night in and I invited some of my best gal pals over, and we just celebrated all things indulgent and lovely. There was a massage chair, we did nail polish, we had a book swap section, and we had an area to write love letters for friends, and we had some topical questions because I always ask topical questions. I mean, not always, sometimes I just ask random questions. Like, why haven't they made a version of a cow that is as small as a cockapoo that I could have as a pet? Because that seems like a really good idea if people are gonna stop eating cows because of veganism. Like, why can't we just have pet cows that are just smaller so we can fit them in our houses? Anyway, the topical question that I was asking on Galentine's Day was, what's the most romantic thing that God has done for you lately? Which kind of had my friends stumped. But take a minute to think it over. What is the most romantic thing that God has done for you lately? Maybe you can't think of anything right now, but it's okay. I'll ask you again later. Don't worry. But even if you can't think of one thing, let me assure you, God is definitely pouring out his love over you as you just watch this video. The word romance itself means an expression of love or demonstrating feelings of love. So you can be sure that our God, who is the embodiment of love in its fullness, is right now behaving according to who he is and expressing his love to you. Because if there's anyone who doesn't need to just pretend or fake it or behave like they're not their true selves, is God. Like, he is the most authentic being. But despite this, you might not be able to see God's love. It's not like somebody's come to your door with a bunch of roses with a note that just says, "From the big man upstairs, XOXO, Gossip Girl." And that's true, because most of the time we don't see God's full expressions of love. Like, we don't. It says in the Bible, Matthew 6 verse 2 to 4 says this: when you help somebody out, don't think about how it looks. Just do it quietly and unobtrusively. That is the way your God, who conceived you in love, working behind the scenes, helps you out. Quietly, unobtrusively, and behind the scenes. Helping us all out. Yeah, that kind of sounds like the God that I know. You know, it's not always easy to see when God's impacting your life, which is why there is so much grace for people who are just like, I'm having a minute where I just don't know if he cares, or I don't see him, or I'm just not sure. Like, those are totally normal feelings to have. And one of the reasons is because God is actually behaving in a way that is quiet and unobtrusive. He's not like forcing his love on you. Which is why I don't understand why people use the term Bible bashing. Like, how is that going to help anyone? That is, like, we were taught better than that, guys. Anyway, I'm so sick, I'm going on like random tangents right now, so I'm really sorry, guys. But basically, it's not easy to see sometimes how God's impacting your life. And maybe you don't see the way that he's gotten you out of situations or out of danger because he's done it so well. And I mean, if his aim is to be unobtrusively loving, perhaps he allows for many things he does to just go unnoticed. I am not quite as subtle, I'll be honest. For example, I will make a nice dinner for my husband, Dan, and then I'll stand next to it and be like, ta-da! And I will know that my expression of love has been felt and received by him based on the way that he responds. However, if he doesn't respond, I will probably graciously say something along the lines of, how was the food? Was it good? Is it okay? Do you need some ketchup? I tried to make something you'd like. I thought maybe you'd appreciate a nice hot meal after you've been working so hard today. I mean, normally it works. Dan normally responds with like, yeah, it's really tasty, or you're a great wife, thanks, I love you, and he'll give me a kiss, and I'll have like residue of food on it, and it's sticky, and I'm like, thanks. And on the inside, I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm a good wife. But what if I didn't need my husband's recognition? What if I already knew inside myself that I was a good wife to him and a loving wife to him, and I didn't rely on his affirmation to make me feel and know that? Because basically what I'm doing in this whole scenario is saying that his response to my expression of love decides how true my love for him is, which is kind of mad. Maybe I should be loving him unobtrusively and behind the scenes just helping him out instead of trying to get affirmation and recognition and like, you know, a round of applause for a good dinner. If I wasn't behaving this way and trying to get his affirmation, I would just simply be loving him. I wouldn't be trying to impress him. And that is what God is like. God is not after our validation or affirmation. He doesn't need it. He has no insecurities to cater to. God doesn't have any insecurities because he's not crippled by sin's corruption of self-image. Whoa. Even on a sick day, when I'm good, I'm good. I gotta remember this stuff. God is not trying to buy our attention or our love with gifts or answered prayers. He's simply loving us out of the desire to love us and to help us. That's why it can be really hard to see what God's love looks like in your life, because he's doing it quietly, in the shadows, and without your knowledge. But I have a feeling that if you paid close enough attention, you could figure out that some of the good things in your life are direct blessings right from God, just as an expression of his love for little old you. So take a minute to look around you. Do you have joy? How do you feel when you listen to music? Do you know what family is? Have you seen a beautiful sky view lately? I have not. It is gross out there. Have you needed something practical and been able to gain it? What is nature saying to you today? Do you enjoy simple things like the sound of laughter, like good entertainment, like my vlogs? When you read the Bible, do you get that soft feeling in your heart that you're connecting to something bigger than you? Maybe there's just something you've really wanted for a while and you've received it. Take some time to just sit and take stock of what's around you. Be mindful of all the gifts that you have in your life right now. They don't have to be circumstantial. Ultimately, the best gift that God's ever given us is Jesus and is our salvation, so we can get away from the torment of sin turning us into people that we weren't made to be. That's a true gift. So take some time today to think about all the gifts that God's given you, whether it's a nice warm cup of tea or it's salvation through Jesus. Because I want to know, what's the most romantic thing that God's done for you lately? I told you I was going to ask you again. So if you have an answer, put it in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys. And for today, that's all from me. I'm going to go downstairs and get on the couch. I'm going to finish my cup of tea. I'm going to get a blanket out and try and warm my cockles up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit more faith heavy, but that's what I want to be giving you in 2020. As you can see, thank you for sticking with me through my weird, sick, gross realness right now. Hopefully I won't be bringing this much sick to you next time. But if you have enjoyed this video, please click that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You'd be doing me a massive favor and giving me basically a virtual high five. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.